This video corresponds to section 4.3 in your book. We're going to talk about solving absolute value equations. If you recall from pre-algebra, the absolute value of a number is the distance a number is from 0 on the number line. So when we look at the absolute value of x is equal to 8, think about what x could be. What could x be? Well, x could equal 8, but x could be something else. X could be -8 as well. So whatever you have inside the absolute value sign, in this case for x, is going to be equal to whatever constant is on the other side of the equation and the opposite of that as well. That's not new, that's a review from last year. Now we can use that same concept as we solve absolute value equations. Now, if you think about what we just did, we said x, which was what is inside the absolute value sign, is equal to 8. So we can take what's inside here, a plus 3. That's going to be equal to the constant on the other side, is equal to 5. What else did we do? We said, well, x, which is what's inside the absolute value sign, is equal to -8 as well. So I can take, let's write the word or here, because either of these could be true. A plus 3 could also equal -5. So now we have two fairly simple, straightforward equations that would satisfy this absolute value equation. So I'll solve both of these. We can subtract 3 from both sides. We end up with a is equal to 2 over here. We subtract 3 both sides, and a is equal to -8. So we have a is equal to -2 and a is equal to -8. All right. So let's take that same concept and you try it out on your own. Pause the video now as you attempt number 2. Pause the video now. All right, so whatever is inside the absolute value sign, in this case, oh, excuse me, try that again. Whatever is inside the absolute value sign, in this case, 3y minus 4, is going to be equal to 5, which is the constant on the right side of the equation. Or something else that would make this true would be 3y minus 4, whatever is inside the absolute value sign, is equal to -5. And now we have two equations that we solve, and we end up with y equals 3 and y equals -1/3. So those are the solutions to this absolute value equation. This one's a little different. We've got a 2 out in front of the absolute value sign. So the absolute value of b minus 17 is being multiplied by 2, and that's equal to 10. Think about what we might do first. See if you can come up with a guess of what we might do first to make this work just like the other problems we have already worked. Well, in the other problems, the absolute value sign was isolated, right? Whatever was inside the absolute value was isolated. So we need to divide by 2 on the left and the right. That's going to leave us with the absolute value of b minus 17 is equal to 5. Now that it looks just like the other problems we've been working, go ahead and solve for b. Pause the video now and solve for b. All right, I'm not going to work this one out because you've already had two examples that have told you how to do this. So I'm going to leave this one to you on your own. Let's go on to the next one. Absolute value of 2x minus 3 minus 5 equals 8. Think about how this one might be done. What should we do first? Well, I'm going to add 5 to the left and the right side. When I do that, I end up with the absolute value of 2x minus 3 is equal to 13. Now it looks just like the other problems you've worked. Please pause the video now. Solve number 4 on your own. Here's number 5. Hopefully you had no problem with number 4. Number 5 kind of combines the two ideas in the previous two problems. So I encourage you to pause the video and start solving this one. If you get stuck, I'll help you get unstuck, but pause the video now. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add, oh, excuse me, didn't mean to do that. I'm going to add 1 to the left and the right side. I'm left with now 3 multiplied by the absolute value of 8 plus b, and that is equal to 30. I'm then going to divide both sides by 3. That leaves me with the absolute value of 8 plus b is equal to 30 divided by 3 is 10. Now you should be able to solve that problem because it looks just like the first two problems we worked out on this video. So pause the video now if you've not done so and finish that out. Pause the video and try number 6 as well. Pause the video and try number 6. Alright, so on number 6, I am going to add 4 to both sides. Now this is just like solving an equation. Negative 2, the absolute value of x over 2 plus 3. That's going to be equal to negative 10 plus 4 is negative 6. I'm then going to divide both sides by negative 2. I'm left with the absolute value of x over 2 plus 3 is equal to negative 6 divided by negative 2 is going to be a positive 3. Okay, scroll down a little bit. So we're going to have x over 2 plus 3 is equal to 3. And we're going to have this equation as well. X over 2 plus 3 is equal to negative 3. So now you can add 3 to both sides of the equations and multiply both sides by 2, and that will solve for x. Take a look at number 7. See if you can try number 7 out on your own. Try number 7 on your own. Pause the video, please. So as I add 8 to both sides, I'm left with the absolute value of a divided by 7 is equal to 1. I can then multiply both sides by 7. Multiply by 7 here, multiply by 7 here. 7 divided by 7 is 1. I'm left with the absolute value of a is equal to 7, and now it's just like the other problems we've done. This one's actually a lot simpler. A is equal to 7, and a is equal to negative 7. All right, take a look at these last two and try to solve those on your own. I can answer your questions tomorrow in class.